Beneath Australia's quiet forests, forgotten tracks, and winding hills lie tunnels carved in stone, but not all of them are empty. Some echo with more than just time. Whispers in the dark, ghostly figures, footsteps that follow when no one is there. These are not just tunnels, they are gateways to the unknown. Are you brave enough to step into the shadows? Join us as we uncover the top 10 most haunted tunnels in Australia, where history bleeds into horror and not everything that goes in comes back out. Gesture 1. Mushroom Tunnel, Picton, New South Wales. Deep in the quiet town of Picton, New South Wales, lies a forgotten relic with a chilling past. The Mushroom Tunnel, once known as the Red Bank Range Railway Tunnel. Built in 1867, it was later sealed and used for mushroom farming. But that's not what made it infamous. Locals whisper about the spirit of Emily Bollard, a woman who tragically died here in the late 1800s, struck by a train under mysterious circumstances. Since then, visitors have reported eerie footsteps echoing behind them, sudden drops in temperature, and disembodied whispers in the dark. Some even claim to have seen Emily's ghost, glowing faintly in the pitch-black void. Paranormal investigators often find their equipment malfunctioning as they enter. The tunnel is now sealed, but thrill-seekers still venture close, drawn by its sinister energy. It's not just a tunnel. It's a gateway to something that refuses to rest. 2. Old Helensburgh Tunnel, New South Wales. Hidden in the overgrown forests of Helensburgh, New South Wales, the old Helensburgh Tunnel is more than just an abandoned railway line. It's a place where the dead are said to whisper through the mist. Built in the 1880s, it served as part of the original South Coast Railway line, but was decommissioned in 1915. What remains now is a damp, pitch-black passage, drenched in shadow and legend. Locals speak of glowing green lights that flicker deep within the tunnel, believed to be the spirits of miners who died nearby. Visitors often report ghostly figures moving through the fog, sudden cold snaps, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Cameras malfunction, voices are caught on recordings, and some say they hear the sound of an old steam train, even though the tracks have long since vanished. This tunnel doesn't just echo with history, it breathes with something darker, something that waits in the silence. 3. Bulbunda Tunnel, Queensland. Carved through solid rock in the remote hills of Queensland, the Bulbunda Tunnel is the longest unsupported man-made tunnel in Australia and one of its most haunted. Built in the 1880s for a railway that no longer exists, this tunnel now echoes with a disturbing silence, broken only by the flutter of bats and the whispers of the past. Locals speak of a spectral miner who appears near the entrance, covered in dirt, eyes hollow, vanishing without a trace. Others claim to hear the clang of tools and ghostly footsteps pacing deep within the rock. Cold drafts creep along your spine, even on the hottest days, and some visitors leave the tunnel feeling disoriented, or worse, followed. There are tales of travelers whose car engines die near the entrance, only to restart once they've backed away. Though the tunnel is open to the public, few dare to walk its full length alone. It's not the darkness that terrifies, it's what might be watching from within. 4. Swan Tunnel, Western Australia. Tucked deep within John Forest National Park in Western Australia, the Swan Tunnel was carved into the hillside in 1895, and from the moment it opened, something felt wrong. Accidents plagued the site, with multiple deaths during construction and strange malfunctions afterward. Now sealed at the eastern end, the western entrance remains open, but few dare to step inside. Visitors report heavy breathing from the darkness, distant cries echoing off the walls, and the distinct feeling of being watched. Ghostly figures are said to appear in the shadows, vanishing as soon as a flashlight hits them. Some claim to see the spirit of a railway worker crushed by falling rock, still wandering the tunnel with a lantern in hand. Electronic devices often fail inside, and pets refuse to go near the entrance. The air is thick, damp, and heavy, like the tunnel itself is holding its breath. Once you step in, the silence swallows you whole, and something waits in the dark. 5. Big Peninsula Tunnel, Victoria. Hidden in the dense bushland near the Yarra River in Victoria, the Big Peninsula Tunnel was carved in the 1860s to divert water for gold mining. But some say it unearthed more than just gold. The narrow rock passage now stands abandoned, its moss-covered walls soaked in silence and shadow. Locals whisper of miners who vanished during storms, swept into the tunnel's depths, never to be seen again. Visitors report eerie cries echoing through the stone, cold drafts without wind, and strange lights flickering deep inside the passage. Some feel invisible hands brush against them in the dark, while others claim to hear the distant clang of pickaxes striking rock. Though the mine has long been closed, even on sunny days, the tunnel feels wrong, like it's alive, watching. Nature has reclaimed its edges, but the darkness within has never lifted. Walk too far in, and you may not walk out the same, if at all. 6. Montapa Tunnel, Queensland. Deep beneath the rolling hills of Queensland lies the Montapa Tunnel, the only railway tunnel in the state to cross under the Great Dividing Range. Built in the early 1900s, its purpose was once simple: to carry trains. But what remains now is a hollowed-out scar in the earth, where silence clings and strange things stir. Though the tracks are long gone, those who enter speak of phantom train sounds rumbling through the tunnel, growing louder, then vanishing. Cold, unnatural winds sweep through without warning, and shadows shift where no light should reach. Locals tell of a railway worker crushed during construction, his ghost still wandering the tunnel, swinging a dim lantern in the dark. Cameras often fail, and some visitors hear whispers, soft, urgent, and impossible to trace. The tunnel is short, but its darkness feels endless, like time itself slows inside. Once a feat of engineering, now a forgotten passage haunted by echoes that refuse to fade. 7. Echo Tunnel, Belair National Park, South Australia. Deep within the shadowy trails of Belair National Park in South Australia lies the Echo Tunnel, a narrow, abandoned railway tunnel that lives up to its name in the most unsettling way. Built in the 1880s, it was once part of the Adelaide to Nairn line, but now it's a relic shrouded in darkness and dread. Step inside, and your every footstep returns to you, but twisted, delayed, distorted, like something else is answering. Visitors report more than just echoes, whispers with no source, cold fingers brushing their necks, and faces briefly glimpsed in the darkness. Some say they've heard a child's laughter echoing through the tunnel, even when no one is around. Others speak of a ghostly figure in old railway gear, standing motionless at the far end, only to vanish when approached. The deeper you walk, the heavier the air becomes, as if the tunnel itself is closing in. Echoes shouldn't feel alive, but here they do. They 8. Dularcha Railway Tunnel, Queensland. Buried in the thick forest of Dularcha National Park, Queensland, the Dularcha Railway Tunnel may seem like just another forgotten relic of Australia's rail history. But once you step inside, the silence speaks, and what it says will chill your bones. Built in 1891, the tunnel cuts through the hillside like an open wound, damp, dark, and echoing with secrets. Though the trains are long gone, many have heard the low rumble of an engine approaching, only for nothing to appear. Shadows flicker across the walls, cold drafts swirl suddenly, and strange whispers follow those who dare to walk alone. Cyclists and hikers have reported seeing a pale woman standing at the center of the tunnel, vanishing as they draw near. Animals avoid the entrance, and electronic devices often glitch within the stone walls. What was once a proud passage of progress now feels like a place lost in time and haunted by something that never left. 9. Morton Tunnel, New South Wales. Deep in the remote bushland, near the ghost town of Morton, New South Wales, lies a lonely, one-lane relic carved through solid rock, the Morton Tunnel. Built in the 1880s for the Cobb & Co. coach route, it's now a forgotten passage swallowed by forest and silence. But not everything inside it is still. Locals whisper of strange lights glowing in the darkness, voices calling out from the stone, and a chilling presence that stalks those who pass through alone. Travelers report engines stalling at the entrance, radios erupting in static, and the overwhelming feeling that someone, or something, is watching. Legends speak of bushrangers who once used the tunnel to ambush and vanish without a trace. Some say you can still hear horses galloping in the dead of night, hooves pounding on a road that no longer exists. Time doesn't feel right here. The deeper you go, the colder it gets, and the harder it becomes to shake the feeling that you're not alone. 10. Little Peninsula Tunnel, Victoria. Hidden. Deep in the forest near Warburton, Victoria, the Little Peninsula Tunnel may be smaller than its infamous counterpart, but its dark presence is just as powerful. Built in the 1860s to divert the Yarra River for gold mining, it now lies abandoned, swallowed by nature and whispered legends. Walk too close, and the air turns unnaturally cold. Visitors speak of voices echoing from within, murmuring in a language no one can quite understand. Some say they've seen shadowy figures standing just beyond the tunnel's curve, gone in a blink, yet leaving behind a bone-deep sense of dread. Time seems to slow as you step into the passage, your heartbeat loud against the deafening silence. Those who stay too long report nausea, confusion, and the eerie feeling of being followed back through the trees. The forest is quiet, but the tunnel is not. Something lingers in its depths, and it doesn't want to be forgotten. From eerie whispers to ghostly apparitions, these tunnels are more than just decaying stone and forgotten railways. They are living memories of tragedy, mystery, and something darker. So next time you wander near one, listen closely. If you hear footsteps behind you, don't turn around, because in Australia's haunted tunnels, the past is never truly buried. Which one would you dare to enter alone? Let us know if you make it back.